Imagine waking up tomorrow morning. You live in North America. You speak English. You pay taxes. But there is no United States of America. No Declaration of Independence, Constitution, or Bill of Rights. Because one thing never happened. France never came to help. No ships, or gold, or soldiers. And importantly, no navy. And all of that matters, because without France, the American Revolution doesn't just struggle, it fails. In school, the American Revolution is usually told as an inevitable story. Brave colonists fighting for a righteous cause against a fading empire. But in reality, by 1778, the Continental Army was exhausted. Washington could barely feed his men. The colonies had no navy, industry, or money. Independence required more than muskets and bravery. It was bought with French gold and secured by French warships. Now imagine that support never arrives. In this timeline, King Louis XVI hesitates. France is already drowning in debt. Another war with Britain could be catastrophic. And from Paris, the American rebellion looks, at best, unstable. After all, there have been no decisive victories, there is no unified government, and there is definitely no guarantee of success. So, France chooses caution. They do offer quiet sympathy, but no alliance. No Treaty of Alliance in 1778, no French loans, no Lafayette, no French fleet in the Atlantic. And that single decision changes everything. Without French naval power, Britain controls the seas completely. Colonial ports are blockaded, trade collapses, and supplies stop arriving. Washington's army begins to dissolve. Soldiers desert not because they lack courage, but because they're hungry and they haven't been paid in months. Without an influx of fresh weapons and uniforms, there is no hope of any relief. The British decide to shift their strategy. Instead of chasing Washington endlessly, they choose to dig in. They hold New York, Philadelphia, and Charleston. Then they just wait. Without French pressure elsewhere in the world, Britain can focus everything on the colonies. Loyalist militias grow stronger. British pardons are offered to rebels who surrender. Colonial elites begin switching sides. One colony at a time, resistance fades. The Continental Congress fractures. Some delegates argue for independence at any cost. Others argue for survival. By the early 1780s, the truth becomes unavoidable. There is no path to victory. There will be no dramatic final battle ending with a British surrender at Yorktown, because Yorktown only happens with a French fleet preventing retreat. Instead, the rebellion simply ends. Washington resigns. Revolutionary leaders flee, are arrested, or fade into obscurity. British authority is quickly restored. The American Revolution doesn't end with a bang. It ends with complete exhaustion. Britain does learn from its mistakes. The colonies are carefully reorganized, not crushed. Taxes remain, but colonial assemblies gain some limited representation. Royal governors rule, backed by a permanent British army. North America becomes the most valuable part of the empire. Over time, it resembles a larger, more powerful version of Canada. Loyal, prosperous, and controlled. Political freedom never fully arrives. There is no constitution, freedom of speech, or a right to bear arms. Some rights do exist, but only as Parliament allows. Without American independence, the ripple effects are massive. No American Revolution means no French Revolution. Monarchies survive longer. Democracy spreads more slowly. There is no United States to challenge empires, no global symbol of democratic government. The British Empire dominates the 19th century completely unchallenged, and the modern world becomes quieter, more stable, and far less free. History didn't turn on destiny. It turned on a decision made in a palace in Paris. One "yes, we will help" that might have never come. Fortunately for America, It did.